Now, when people first hear the phrase income system, it often brings relief. It sounds like an escape from exhaustion, pressure, and constant effort. But this moment is also where the most common mistake begins. And that mistake quietly undermines most attempts before they ever have a chance to work. Most people do not actually change how they think about income. Instead, they take the same effort-based approach they already know and simply apply a new label to it. The work looks different on the surface, but the dependency underneath remains exactly the same. In practice, this shows up as a familiar mindset. People ask themselves what they need to do today, what needs attention now, and what requires constant pushing. Those are not system questions. They are effort questions, even when the activity feels more sophisticated. So, even though the income source may look new, the structure never changes. If attention drops, progress stops. If effort pauses, results disappear. That is not leverage. That is dependency wearing a more organized appearance. At this point, confusion usually sets in. People start saying things like, "I thought systems were supposed to feel easier," or "This still feels like work." And they are correct, because structurally, nothing meaningful has changed yet. A real income system does not depend on daily motivation or constant pressure. It depends on design. Effort can exist inside a system, but effort is not what keeps it alive. The system continues because its parts are connected in a way that does not require restarting every day. This distinction matters far more than it first appears. When effort is the engine, growth has a ceiling. When structure is the engine, effort gradually becomes optional. The difference is not how busy something looks, but what happens when you step back. Many people confuse consistency with systems. They believe showing up every day automatically creates leverage. But consistency alone only produces reliable effort. Without structural continuity, consistent action does not compound. It simply repeats, often more efficiently, but no less dependently. A real system does not ask whether you feel motivated today. It produces outcomes because the design is already in place. Momentum comes from structure, not discipline. That is why some income continues moving, even when attention shifts elsewhere. This is also why many so-called systems collapse the moment life intervenes. Fatigue, illness, or distraction reveals the truth quickly. If everything stops the moment you stop, then continuity never existed. What most people end up building instead is a better organized hustle. It may be efficient, it may even be profitable, but it still requires constant engagement to survive. And anything that demands constant attention will eventually feel indistinguishable from a job. Fragile income always demands reassurance. It needs checking, restarting, monitoring, and pressure. Over time, that pressure becomes exhausting, even when the work itself is not difficult. The structure creates stress, not because of volume, but because of dependency. A true income system reduces the number of decisions you must make. It narrows where effort is required. And most importantly, it creates continuity when you are not actively involved. That continuity is what separates systems from organized effort. This is the mental shift most people miss entirely. They focus on optimizing tasks instead of examining dependency. They improve activity without questioning structure. As a result, they build something that looks productive but never actually frees their time or attention. Once you start evaluating income through this lens, many opportunities lose their appeal immediately. Not because they are bad, but because they are effort-heavy by design. They ask for constant presence, even when they promise flexibility or freedom. If you have been following this series, this connects directly to why earning more never solved the problem. The issue was never income size, it was dependency. Increasing income without changing structure simply increases pressure, not freedom. The next layer of this conversation becomes more practical. How do you tell the difference between effort assets, and systems before you invest time into them. That distinction determines whether something compounds quietly or demands attention forever. Once you see that difference clearly, your behavior changes naturally. You stop chasing progress through activity, and you start designing income through structure. That shift alone eliminates years of frustration and wasted effort.